There are habits that shout for attention, big, flashy goals, loud resolutions, overnight transformations. But the habits that truly change your life, they whisper. They don't beg for applause or demand praise. They slip quietly into your routine, unnoticed by most, but over time, they reshape everything. These are the silent architects of transformation, and if you listen closely, you'll feel their power. Subtle at first, then suddenly undeniable. The truth is, life doesn't pivot in grand moments. It shifts in the small choices you repeat every single day. What time you wake up, how you respond when no one's watching, what you feed your mind, the way you speak to yourself when you fail. These things seem ordinary, but they're not. They're everything. And when you commit to building the right habits, even if they're quiet, even if they're simple, your entire life begins to evolve in ways most people never experience. One of the most powerful habits you can form is mastering your mornings. Not just waking up early, but waking up with intention. Before the world has a chance to steal your focus, own your first hour. Use it to move your body, reflect in silence, visualize your goals, or read something that feeds your mind. This doesn't need to be loud or showy, but every time you start your day with discipline, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. You train yourself to lead instead of react. You begin each day not by default, but by design. Another quiet habit that changes lives is learning to say no. We often think growth comes from saying yes, from taking on more, doing more, chasing more. But the real magic happens when you protect your time like it's sacred, because it is. Every no you say to distractions, to draining people, to things that don't align with your values, is a yes to yourself. It's a yes to your peace, your growth, your mission. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors, and only the right things get to walk through. Then there's the habit of doing hard things consistently, not because you feel like it, not because it's convenient, but because you've made a promise to yourself. Every time you choose discomfort over ease, discipline over excuses, action over procrastination, you strengthen the most powerful force in your life, your character. Progress lives in the uncomfortable. You don't have to move mountains in one day. You just have to prove to yourself that you're not afraid to climb. Bit by bit, effort by effort, you become the kind of person who follows through. And that, quietly, changes everything. Life-altering habit is the way you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue isn't background noise. It's the script your life follows. So many people live in mental cages because they've never questioned the voice that says, "You're not good enough." But you can change that. You can make a habit of choosing empowering thoughts, of challenging negative patterns, of replacing "I can't" with "I'm learning," and "I'm not there yet" with "I'm on my way." When your inner world shifts, your outer world follows. Speak to yourself like someone you believe in, because belief is built one kind word, one honest affirmation at a time. Talk about gratitude, not as a cliche, but as a lifestyle. It's one of the quietest yet most transformative habits you'll ever develop. Life is full of noise, chaos, and constant comparison. But when you train yourself to notice the good, to pause and feel deeply thankful for even the smallest blessings, you change your baseline. You stop chasing happiness and start experiencing it. Gratitude doesn't require perfect circumstances. It just requires presence. And the more you practice it, the more you attract moments worth being thankful for. Reading is another subtle habit that multiplies your potential. Books don't scream, they don't demand your attention, but they carry the wisdom of lifetimes. Read 10 pages a day, not to impress others, not to finish fast, but to feed your mind. Over the years, those pages stack up. Your thinking sharpens, your confidence grows. You start recognizing patterns, solving problems, and speaking from a place of depth. Quietly, you become someone others listen to, not because you're loud, but because you're grounded. Then, there's the habit of reflection. We live in a world that pushes us to keep moving, but growth requires stillness. Set aside time to review your days. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What drained me? What inspired me? What can I do differently tomorrow? Most people don't reflect. They repeat. That's how you stay stuck. But when you reflect, you learn. And when you learn, you evolve. Reflection isn't a pause from life. It's how you gain the clarity to live it better. One of the most underestimated habits? Keeping your word. Who doesn't just dream, but does. And that consistency, that quiet integrity, that's where the power lives. There's the habit of letting go, of not needing closure to move on, of not letting resentment take root, of releasing what's heavy so you can rise. Letting go isn't loud, it's not dramatic, it's not even visible, but it frees up your soul. It creates space for peace, for progress, for possibility. Life will always bring challenges. People will disappoint you. You will make mistakes. But you're not meant to carry everything. Some weights are meant to be dropped, so you can climb higher. These habits don't demand applause. They don't trend, but they work. They work in the background, while the world is busy looking for shortcuts. They work when no one's watching, when no one's cheering, when no one understands why you're waking up early, saying no, doing the hard thing, or reading instead of scrolling. And then one day, months or years from now, someone will look at your life and ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll know the truth. It wasn't one thing, it was everything. It was the quiet habits that changed you. So, don't chase noise, chase mastery, chase self-respect, chase progress that lasts. Build habits that match the life you want, not the life you're trying to escape. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need overnight success. You just need to start. Start with one habit. Start with one choice. Start with one commitment to yourself. Because when you stack the right habits, when you stay consistent through the silence, through the setbacks, through the seasons of doubt, you don't just change your routine. You change your identity. You become someone who lives on purpose, someone who doesn't need to prove anything, because their life speaks for itself. And that's how you quietly change everything.